broadcast. And here we are. Never have I breathed so deeply in my life. Hello, everybody. I really hope that you can see us and you can catch us now. We are live. We are definitely functional on the YouTube page, and we're going to work on our stream for the coming lectures. So everything should run just as it is expected to. More about that later. For now, let's say welcome and hello. And it's finally time for Women in Language. Hi! Oh my gosh, do I hope you can see us. And I can see you guys as well in the chat room. And it's, God, this is buzzing, isn't it?
I'm sorry I haven't been able to keep up and try and think. Right, do we chat here or still on YouTube?
No, let's chat in the chat.
Chat in the chat. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
Is that going to be confusing though in two windows?
Nah. I'm still breathing very deeply.
They can chat wherever they want to chat, and Lindsay and I will just keep track of both.
You can chat wherever you chat. It's just, I think in the chat room in Women in Language, we can see you first, or at least I can see you first. But we'll still be able to pick you up on YouTube later on. But let's start as we mean to go on, and let me then, as we have already said, welcome. Take a second just to introduce ourselves, just in case you perhaps were referred by one of our speakers and you're wondering what this is all about and you sort of jumped on board because you're loving the Women in Language message. We are here to just introduce ourselves for a minute and to say Happy International Women's Day. So I guess I'll kick off as I'm talking already. My name is Kerstin. I am originally from Germany, and I started loving languages probably when I was sort of 5. But yesterday I was on the phone to my mother, and she's telling me how she's got trouble picking up Polish from the Polish person who works with my grandma. And but I find Russian easier because I had this Russian book. So and my first dictionary is this blue 1974 edition German English dictionary. So I have, on International Women's Day, I can feel the love, and I feel like there is a tradition of women who love language and women who love communication in my family, and I'm just carrying it on, really. My languages are generally quite European-centric. Having grown up very near Luxembourg, I understand Luxembourgish, I speak French, English, German. I have some skills with a Z in Italian and Spanish. I dabbled in Russian and then fell in love with Welsh, and now I can speak Welsh for a whole hour, as I tried yesterday in a language exchange. I have a website and a podcast, which I would love you to know about and pay attention to way after Women in Language. And those are fluentlanguage.co.uk, not .com, because that's too expensive. And not available, and The Fluent Show, which you can get at fluent.show, and that's a podcast that I host together with Lindsay, and I have a frequent guest on there as well called Shannon. So I'm going to hand over to Shannon, who is our second co-organizer.
All right. Hi, I'm Shannon. I am the blogger, foodie, and language lover. Yes.
Sorry, one moment. Can you just share the video link with me, because I don't have it and I want to pop it in the chat. Thank you. Before you
of course.
Make sure people can see.
All right, it should be on your phone. Do you prefer I email it? Okay. All right, so I'm Shannon. I am the blogger, foodie, and language lover behind Eurolinguist. I didn't realize my passion for languages until I was doing my master's degree. The requirements of my program said that I needed to have a fluent reading ability in Spanish, German, French, and Italian. And I found out after the fact that I was the only one who paid attention to that requirement. My advisor didn't even know that it was in the requirements when I asked him about it towards the end of my master's program. So while I was in university, I gained my European Framework certificates for all of those languages. And I also gained a love for learning languages. I started studying Croatian while I was there because I had access to the language library as a part of my certification program. And I just kept going after I finished, and Eurolinguist started as my way of kind of chronicling that and evolved into what it is today. I have a course called Get By in Croatian. It is a course that teaches the Croatian language, and I also have a course called Language Learning Accelerator, which discusses time management for language learners. And that kind of came out of the fact that I have several jobs. I'm a professional musician. I play saxophone. I also have a full-time job. I also work for Fluent in 3 months, and I'm a fairly new mom. I have a toddler who's not quite yet 2. So, and I call him Little Linguist. We speak to him in Chinese, French, and English. So he's growing up multilingual as well. And that's pretty much it for me. So I will now pass it over to Lindsay.
And he's a little gem, a little cherub, I have to add. So yeah, hello, I'm Lindsay Does Languages, and very excited to be here. As you may have heard, if you've seen any of the build up to the event, we kind of just came together really naturally, Women in Language. So I spoke to Kirsten one day, just like, I've had this idea for International Women's Day. And as we wrote a list of people and it just grew and grew, it expanded into this huge 4-day event. And we're really happy as well to have Shannon on board with us. So it's been a wonderful experience. I feel really honored to have had the chance to work with the two of them. So yeah, my whole deal, if you like, my first language was French way back in primary school, then Spanish because Shakira was cool at the time, still is, let's be honest. And then I just kind of expanded from that. I thought, I can do this thing. Let's do some more languages. And it just kind of rolled and spiraled into. So I help people who want to learn languages on their own, and also people who want to start to teach languages online as well. So it's all about inspiring independent learners and teachers to go further and do more when doing it solo. And that's me, and that's us. So, I'm going to hop back onto the chat. Kirsten, what else do we have to say?
Yes, well, we wanted to, on International Women's Day, and it's like this big day. And my first contact with International Women's Day was in Russia, where I at first thought, wow, they really celebrate their women. And then very quickly got sort of taken back down to earth, where people saying, yeah, that's the one day where women matter. So I feel like I'm now 34 years old, and every year of my life in the last 15 years, I feel like I've become a stronger feminist. When I was growing up, the word feminist used to mean, in my family, it meant aggressive, bra-burning lady who shouts all the time. And all I did then was shout all the time. Whereas now, well, now I care, and now I understand so much more. And this is sort of our idea of women in language. It's not about women are better. It's not about women belong to a place where men don't belong. It's about, we have seen, and we believe that seeing what we want to be and seeing what we want to see in the world, like Gandhi says, I guess, like Sheryl Sandberg says, and seeing represented out there women who are multilingual polyglots with language courses, women who are entrepreneurial in languages, women who work in languages and who bring languages into their lives as a hobby and not in the traditional roles, and not as a sort of necessarily like self-deprecating underpaid person, or somebody who just did languages in school because languages are communication and that's a lady thing. We are interested in the whole spectrum of life, and we are interested in seeing and hearing what women have to say. And I, for one, I'm super excited because I have never attended a conference with all female panels, and now I've made one. So this is amazing. Seeing people out there who do stuff that you love is important, because it shows you that it's okay to do stuff that you love. There are many, many women on our lineup who are doing amazing things with language, and we wanted to create a platform for them and hear what they have to say. And finally, which one of my co-hosts wants to give a shout out to the guys in the audience? And you guys you've signed up to hear women talk for 4 days straight, and that's cool.
Sure, I'll go ahead with that. So I think it's just amazing. As you know, Kirsten said, this event isn't just for women to attend, just because even though that the panel is all women, it doesn't mean that the event is just for women, because it's really important for men as much as women to see women in leadership roles and to have women to look to as role models, which isn't something that typically happens. The way that things kind of happen still today, less so, is that, you know, boys look up to men and girls look up to girls, but it doesn't need, or girls also kind of look up to men because there's so many men in leadership positions and the things that they want to do. So if girls have to look up to men and women, then we should probably start setting the example that, you know, boys can look up to women and men too. So for all the guys that are here supporting women in language, we appreciate you being here, and we look forward to the event over the next 4 days.
I share something that up until now was very secret. Little surprise. I'm excited because I made it. So one thing we were really keen on is that, you know, you've got this 4-day event. After the event, we've got the Facebook group open for 6. Another chance there to connect with us, the hosts, with some speakers, with other attendees as well that have decided to join the Facebook group. And we wanted to make it as easy as possible for you to do that and to connect. So you'll notice when you logged in this morning, probably about half an hour before we went live, I think I made it public, is we've added in that first kind of block of information, there's another little tab there called People Bingo. Okay, so this is just a fun little extra, a little fun surprise to help you get to know people here in the group and hopefully make some friends for life. Some friends that you can exchange languages with, that you can talk about languages with, and that's what it's all about. So who wants to start by sharing what some of these things are that people need to be looking for?
Sure, I'll go ahead. So you want to find someone who is learning their first foreign language, someone who speaks 5 languages, someone who can read with a non-Latin or Roman writing system, someone who works with language, and someone who is raising a bilingual or multilingual child. Kirsten, do you want to take over and do the rest? I think that was a good end for me.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can channel all my deep breathing now into excitement because I'm very extroverted, and People Bingo is one of my favorite games. Oh my God, it's so fun. We did this at my wedding, and it's just wonderful. Like, so I'm going to tell you the other 5 categories. So you've got raising a multilingual child as your last one, and someone who is currently studying a language at university, someone who grew up speaking multiple languages at home, someone who lives in a country that speaks a language that isn't their own, someone who knows a sign language, and finally, someone who doesn't study languages using the internet. What? Grandma!
The hardest one. I got to the end and I was like, I need to make this more difficult. And so I was like, let's just add that one in there.
Oh my God. Yeah. And okay, here's the ground rule. You can't just find one person who fulfills like all of these and get them to, you know, like, and just write their name and everything. You've got to find 10 different people. And that way you're going to hopefully win the bingo award, which the bingo award isn't an award where you can win something, but there is something in the conference where you can win something. And I think it's time to talk you through our raffle. What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely.
Before we do that, we're being asked where they can find the People Bingo.
It's a separate lecture, right, in Women in Language?
At the very beginning. So when you are logged into the main like contents of the of Women in Language on that page, you'll see at the very beginning it says welcome, and there's conference tech notes, and it says about the raffle, which we'll talk about in a moment. And then underneath there, I added in a separate like lesson this morning called People Bingo. And in there, you've got the information, you've got the image, and you can download that image as well. So you can like write the names on, you can print it and add the names to it as well. Or you can just make notes in your notebook. But however you do it, and this goes for everything, by the way, for the next 4 days, We want to see. We want to see where you are. We want to see where you're making notes, what you're doing with everything you're learning with Women in Language. We want to see your notebook, your calendar. Okay, so share with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. In the Facebook group, I made stories available for everyone. So if you're into that, you can like just hop on your phone and go right in there. And yeah, use the hashtag Women in Language. And I'm checking it like a maniac throughout the next few days. So and we all are, I'm sure.
Excellent. So People Bingo, if you can't see it yet, might be worth refreshing. We'll double check that it's all published, and yeah, we will make sure you get it. If you can't see it yet, no problem. Don't worry, don't panic. We'll sort it out. But that is People Bingo. That's our surprise for you, and it really, I don't know, it's one of my favorite things, just these games. So moving swiftly on to something that you have to do absolutely nothing for, and that is our raffle. We have got prizes from various sponsors, friends, kind of drafted in whoever we knew, and who does something that we admire and love in languages. We've got prizes from us 3 hosts. We've got prizes from the speakers and prizes from various language companies. So we'll run through them in a second. In order to join the raffle, there is something very important you must do. And you've already done it! It's to get a ticket for Women in Language. So you're already included in the raffle, and there will be 3 main prizes, which we're going to announce the winners during our closing ceremony on Sunday. Would one of you ladies like to walk us through the prizes?
I can do that. So there's a little linguist. The prizes are from Lindsay, Kirsten, and I. You'll get Lindsay's Solo Language Learning Planner. You'll get Language Accelerator Lite from me. And you'll get $30 to spend at Fluent Language from Kirsten. From our speakers, Irregular Endings is giving 25 Australian dollars to use in her store. And Lydia Makova is giving Language Mastery, yes, I believe Language Master, her course. You'll also get 6 months on Link, German Uncovered from I Will Teach You a Language and Kirsten, the Easy Language Guides, all 6 of them, and Conversation Countdown from Fluent in 3 months. You'll get 6 months of Flashsticks Academy, and you'll also get a premium pass for the Language Learning Summit from Paulino, a lifetime access to 130 languages from UTalk. You'll get italki credits. You'll also get t-shirts from Black Girls Learn Languages. And you are also going to get 2 tickets to Langfest in Montreal, which are transferable if for whatever reason you're unable to attend. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these into 3 different packages. And so we're going to have 3 total raffle winners. The packages are going to be equal value, as close as we can get. And so we'll be able to pick 3 different winners during the finale.
I'm excited. Sorry, I was busy.
Yeah, we're all chatting, aren't we?
Yeah, that's very exciting. I honestly have been so grateful and so excited by the amount of prizes that have come through. The support that we've had for this event is really wonderful, and it's really exciting to see all these prizes. And that's why, like you say, Shannon, we had to split them into 3. There was so much to give. So 3 very, very exciting bundles that you can win. And you don't have to do anything, which is the cool thing. I think that's nice. It's a nice little bonus. So yeah, that will be announced closing ceremony. So join us there to get your announcements for that. Kirsten?
We'll email the winners too. So for whatever reason you're not able to attend the closing ceremony live, if you are one of the winners, will receive an email shortly after the closing ceremony happens. So don't worry.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, like Shannon says, don't panic. You don't have to be there to claim the prize. It's like in my village. I grew up in a very small village. We've got this raffle, a wine raffle, because we're a winemaking village. And you know, when I was 8, I won 800 bottles of wine, because that's useful for an 8-year-old. Either way, at the raffle, it's not like you have to, you know, we'll draw your ticket and then you have to sort of come to the front and claim your prize. Once you've won, and then we'll email you afterwards. So what is left to say beyond how happy and excited and already so grateful to you we all are for the patience you are already showing and the excitement you are already showing for our first event. So hopefully it'll be running really, really smoothly. I think we're at 70% smoothness, 70% smooth right now. What's left to say is perhaps to just do a quick run through the technology. You're watching this already, you're chatting with us already, but perhaps just as a little recap, I will hand you to which one of you ladies would like to talk through the tech. I think Shannon's pointing at Lindsay. Lindsay's sort of tech officer. She's into this, so go for it.
Oh, hang on. I was trying to do a million and one things, checking in between. Okay, so after this presentation, what we're going to do, me and Shannon are going to update everything so that hopefully you'll be able to watch the YouTube videos. In fact, let me move this closer because I haven't had a chance to fiddle with that yet, and someone said they couldn't hear me. You will have a chance to watch the YouTube videos directly within the page for that presentation from the Women in Language event page within the Teachable page where it's on, right? Does that make sense? So you'll be able to watch it right there. So on that page, you'll see the video. Underneath, you've got the chat box. That's where we'll be chatting throughout the live event itself. After the live event, if you have any additional questions, anything that you want to know that we've missed, if your question got missed or anything like that, hop on over to the Facebook group. There's an event page for each day, okay? And then within that, you've got a post for the for each presentation. So if you've missed anything, just hop on that. If you're listening to this and you're thinking like, wait, what? No problem. Don't worry. I know it's a lot to take in. So just in the Facebook group, you can comment just straight there. That's fine. We'll pick it up. And if you're still like, but I'm not on Facebook, I'm not using that, no worries. You can email us womeninlanguage@gmail.com, and we'll be checking that, all three of us, throughout the event and after as well, to make sure that everyone is okay, that everyone knows what's going on. But really, it should be, it will be, in fact, a lot more simpler than this presentation. So you will see everything in one place. So as long as you're logged in, and I'll be posting every single day in that Facebook group with the link just to remind you of where to access these talks. And then you'll see which talk you want to access. Click on that link. That will open a new page for you, and you'll see the video there. If you click on the video and it doesn't play at first, refresh that tab, because what that probably means is we haven't yet gone live. Okay, so it just means that you're early, and there's no harm being early. I'm an early bird as well. I like to be before the time. So we've got something in common if that's you. I think that's everything. Have I covered everything there?
You've done very well, yeah. I think, especially now that we're rolling, things are going to be pretty smooth, and things should be. I mean, I can already see you all in the chat, so you're doing the right thing, and you are in the right place. We do have over 50 of you. Google tells me, or the machine system here tells me, we've got over 50 of you watching live. This event, honestly, we didn't even know. I didn't think. I thought maybe we'll sell 30 tickets or something, mostly to my mum, and it's, you guys have come out in support of this idea, of this event, of the principle of putting female speakers on a stage in a way that I certainly did not anticipate and expect. So, oh God, I'm gonna have to stop saying thank you to all you guys, because it's gonna get boring. And I just want to give a big shout out to our whole range of speakers. Every single day, some of our speakers have told me that it's the first time they are holding a presentation. So for those guys, like you in the chat room, sending them some love, it's going to get them going, hopefully, on this sort of beautiful speaking career. Perhaps this is in my head. And others are experienced public speakers, and we see them at polyglot conferences and have come out because they've told us they like the concept of this event, and all of them like to be visible. And when my first tweet, I think, about this event was, I've always loved languages. I've never not been a woman, and I've always wanted to speak in public. And that is exactly what I want for anybody else who wants this too. I want it to be more than okay to put yourself forward for something. And hopefully that is the space we have created. So for every single one of our speakers who, Michelle, I can see you in the chat. Every single one of our speakers who's perhaps coming out of the woodwork or coming out in support of this joint mission. I don't know. I'm feeling the love. You guys are fantastic, and thank you so much. Sorry, I spoke on behalf of Shannon and Lindsay there, who hopefully agree with me.
Totally agree with you.
So it extends as well. I think it extends as well to everyone attending, you know.
Oh my God, yes.
Beyond hosts, beyond speakers, everyone attending, we're equally as much a part of this. You know, there's no event if there's 27 speakers and 3 hosts but no one watching. So thank you so much for being here and for supporting this event for the very first time. We're really, really excited about that.
Yes, very excited. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you to Kirsten and Lindsay. This is going to be an amazing 4 days, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you all in the chats and to hearing some amazing talks. And so, yes, thank you. Can't say thank you enough.
Right, I think we're going to hop off. This is the opening ceremony concluded, and Women in Language is officially open. We're going to pop off. I'm going to get ready for our next speaker. So I shall be your host, and I will see you in the Women in Language chat for the next lecture along. So you can either, if you're on the Teachable page, you can see that button there that points to the, what's that side called? To the right, points forward. If you click that button, it should take you straight to the next lecture, so it should take you straight to the next talk. And there, like Lindsay said, you're going to see a live stream that isn't live yet, but behind the scenes I'm going to be getting ready with Sarah so I can hit publish. And should you be unable to see the live video at around 2 minutes past the hour, we're going to be in the chat and we're going to be helping you out, and if we need to shuffle you over to YouTube on that particular one, we will. But we hope to be able to fix the embedding issue, because we know what the issue is, I believe. There's some nodding going on there with my co-hosts. So we know what the issue is, which means we can fix it. And with that, I guess I'm out, and I can't believe I'll be chatting to you in the chat room for all this weekend.
Hey, open. I feel like we should have each got a ribbon